Jay here, Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, we're live in the studio, so get involved in the chat and the comments. Going to be talking about all the latest Manchester United news. Most of the news this morning focusing on the night before. Disappointing result at Old Trafford. Again, a 1-1 draw to West Ham, who were poor, but so were Manchester United, hence the reason we drew with them. So yeah, another frustrating night, especially when we took the lead as well. We should be able to beat West Ham regardless, but even more so when you go 1-0 up and you 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go, whatever it was. Just not good enough at all from Ruben Amorim's side. Ruben Amorim himself is a bit annoyed with it. He's fuming. He's going to be even more angry when he finds out who picks the team. We'll be getting into that. Get involved in the chat and the comments. Let us know what you think. Good to see the usual suspects in there. Mick Holohan in there, who made us laugh when he gave up on his woof woof. Real recognised Real, Moribuge, Geeky Stuff. Let me know what you think about last night's performance, about last night's result. On Ruben Amorim, where do we all stand at the minute with him? Because it wasn't that long ago, he was getting Manager of the Month awards and everyone thought, this is it, we've turned a corner. And now, after two poor home results and home performances, the crowd are turning. I know we beat Crystal Palace, but I noticed it a lot last night. There seems to be more anger towards Ruben Amorim than I've seen in a long time at Old Trafford. And I think people are rightly fed up. I think they've got a right to be annoyed with what is going on at Manchester United. And the manager's been here a year now. He's got to take some responsibility. It's not all just on the players. They've got to take responsibility too. But this isn't a manager who's just come in. He's a manager who's been here for a little while. And I cannot see any improvements. That's what worries me. I don't think there's any improvement from the team that he inherited to what I'm watching at the minute. There might be better players. I like the fact we signed Matthias Cunha. I like the fact we signed Brian and Bumo. But when you look at what is going on the football pitch, it doesn't feel much better than what we saw under Erik ten Hag. Let me know what you think. Akash K says, in what universe does your guy get more minutes than Kobe? Since when did we evolve to bringing on defensive players to see a game out against dog shit? It's a very good point. I wouldn't have brought on Manu guy. I would have liked to have seen Kobe Mainoo get minutes last night. It's obvious the manager doesn't rate Kobe Mainoo, doesn't think he's any good, or doesn't think he's good enough. I disagree with that. Seems to be sort of beholden to this system, which only allows two midfielders, of which Kobe Mainoo is not one of them. But whatever you want to call it, it's just not quite working, is it? Let's get into the quotes from the manager. So these are quotes. You can see these on the Manchester United website. It's frustrating. It's angry. That's it. It's working again and trying to win the next one. Asked about what you've got to do. He was then asked a question. Ruben, the only second half your team has won this season was the one at Palace on Sunday, when Palace obviously tired after playing in Europe. Why do you think the team are having so many difficulties in the second half of games and winning games and seeing out games? Yeah, but there are second halves that we lose control of the game. Today, I think that was not the case. Maybe after the first goal, we lost some second balls, and Cunha won 1 or 2 second balls there and made it a transition. We tried to defend all the time, far from the goal because we knew it. They tried to make a cross, win a corner. Like it happened, long ball, they win a second ball against 3 guys of us in the defence. So we need to be better in the second half. I mean, he's not wrong. Also, he's asked about sort of being conservative. You made 5 changes overall. 4 of them were defensive players who came on. I know it probably didn't have the impact that you wanted, but in hindsight, would you not be that conservative when you were 1-0 up? No, we are losing because of the second ball. Sometimes there's not more men in front of you that are going to win the ball. We had more men to put in the offence. Who would be more offensive? Now, this is quite interesting, and I think we've posted this on our socials, and I think you'll have seen it doing the rounds. He was then asked about Kobe Mainoo, because he says, I understand you've not got a lot of options. Kobe Mainoo. Now, in the actual clip, he laughs at this. So I think we've got it here. And you can see he's given the name. So you can see him there asking who. And he's given the name Kobe Mainoo. And he just laughs. Make of that what you will. I don't know whether he's laughing in sort of frustration at the question, in annoyance at the question, the suggestion that Kobe Mainoo could have made a difference. I don't know, is the honest answer. So he goes on to he doesn't really answer the question in all honesty. He says, yes, it was the second balls and I was worried with Matthijs. I know that Bruno reached the box really well. Mason Mount is playing in this position, so I tried. They were trying to push us. Brian has a lot of pace to try and win the ball in one transition. So that was my idea. Also here, Ruben, you came in and said you're frustrated and angry. What are you frustrated and angry at? Because your team obviously has made progress this season, but the last few weeks it seems to have gone backwards. I think that's fair. I do. There was progress and now we're going backwards. No, it's not going backwards. The results have kept going backwards. We had some moments. Again, that can happen when one team you were talking about, when we had that run, that the team was really perfect. And I was saying we are not far from being in the perfect moment. We are really inconsistent. But if you look at the goal, 83 minutes, we have a long ball. We have everything under control. We need to do better. I mean, look, we can all fire out the cliches here about you're not going to win football matches if you don't keep clean sheets. We know all that. And United's defensive record this season isn't good enough. One clean sheet all season is woeful. It really is. I can't believe we're in the, early part of December and Manchester United have only kept one clean sheet. That's just, the mind boggles with that. Especially when you consider how many defenders we used to have on the pitch as well. That's something that needs fixing. It needs fixing quickly. Now, you can look at the goalkeeper situation earlier on in the season where Bayern Day was more or less throwing him into his goal. But since Senna Lommans has come in, I think he's done well. I think he's just been let down a lot by the players in front of him. And United are just too shaky. We just look vulnerable all the time. West Ham could have got a winner last night. Let's not forget that. Like, there could have been a winner for West Ham. And it's just, you could go, United could have won. Yeah, they could have. But my point is, it could have gone either way, that game. It wasn't just a smash and grab from West Ham. It really wasn't. And I'm just getting to the stage now. We were talking, me and Steve upstairs a minute ago. And now it feels a little bit like the Louis van Gaal era. Listen, I know it's a privilege to watch Manchester United, to be able to go and watch Manchester United. I'm very, very lucky in the sense that I live down the road almost. I could walk if I needed to from my house to Old Trafford. And I know there's millions of fans around the world that support United that don't have that option, that can't get to Old Trafford, that would die to go to Old Trafford. Some of them actually make the trip from overseas when they can to go and watch the Reds. And I do respect that and appreciate it. But right now, go to watch United, it feels like a chore. It's always been something that's enjoyable to me. It's not been a job. It's always been something that I've loved doing, I've enjoyed doing. I've been going to United since I was 5 years old. And it's something I've always looked forward to. But now it feels like I'm having to sort of drag myself to the ground, drag myself there. It just feels like it's almost just an effort. It shouldn't be like that. You should go to watch United because you're looking forward to it, because you're enjoying it, because you're entertained. We're not doing any of those things. It's just not. You go in there and it's just like, here we go again. And I'm sick of it. The Everton game was a low point for me. Losing at home to 10-man Everton was really low. And we did bounce back against Palace with a big win, an important win. But then it felt like back to square one last night. It really did. Just poor football. Not entertaining, not enjoyable at all. Almost clueless at times. Like, what is the plan here? What are we trying to do? And it's not just on one person. It's not just on one, Joshua Zirkzee, if you've got to single him out, or one of the defenders, or the goalkeeper, or Bruno, or whoever. It's not just on one. It's a collective. It's on the players as a group, and it's on the manager, and it's on the coaches. Because it's been a year now, and Ruben Amorim needs to do better, and the players need to do better as well. And I'm sick of having the same discussions every week on this channel. We're having the same chat, aren't we? About Ruben Amorim. How long is he going to be here for? Are we moving forward? Are we going to get European football? Is this going to be okay? Will he see the season out? Will he see next season? Do we need to buy another midfielder? Look, we should have enough quality in this squad to beat West Ham. We should have enough quality in this squad to beat Everton at home when they're down to 10 men. There's no excuses. There isn't. You can talk about how bad the referee was, because he was. You can talk about how we should have done this and we could have done that and all the rest of it, but we didn't. We didn't. We've taken 1 point from 2 home games against Everton and West Ham, and that is absolutely pathetic. There's a good chance West Ham are in the Championship next season. There really is. They were terrible last night, and the only reason they got a point is because so were we. It's not a good United performance, that, by any stretch of the imagination. Let me know what you think. Get involved in the chat in the comments. I don't want to just moan and rant for the sake of it, but I've got to be honest with you. I'm not going to sit. It's not MUTV where I go, hey, tell you what, the low got a goal, didn't he? That was mint. Like, come on, let's be real. Mystical Goose 516 says, give it to Carrick. Taron Capel says, you spot on, AJ. The only thing I think about replacing Ruben Amorim now is, yes, you could go with Michael Carrick, who did a very good job when he was caretaker for those 4 games, I think, a couple of years ago. But that's another gamble, and does that change anything this season? Is that going to get us Champions League football next season? Which, let's be real, should be the bare minimum United are going for. This league is wide open. Champions League football is there for the taking. And it annoys me that we can't seem to get there, because we should be. Maybe you could bring in someone else. I don't know. I think probably what's going to happen is Ruben Amorim sees this season out and we take stock at the end of the season. The worry I have is I think at the end of the season we're probably going to be about where we are now. I've not seen enough to believe that we're actually going to be able to get into those Champions League spots or even the Europa League spots. Let me know if you feel differently, because I want something positive to hang on to. I really do. Just got to be honest, it's getting worse. The atmosphere at Old Trafford is getting worse. I don't mean in terms of like the fans that sing or whatever. I mean the anger, the frustration, some of the shouting, some of the sort of feedback, if you want to call it that Ruben Amorim's getting from the crowd. It's beginning to turn. I was saying this to Joe upstairs. When you see that happening, when you see fans getting frustrated with a manager at the game, that's usually the beginning of the end. That's usually when you know this manager's on borrowed time. It's very rare, I've never, other than Fergie, where you've seen a manager lose the crowd and then turn it around. Now we know what Fergie did because we had Pete Molyneux's banner, didn't we? Tara Fergie. It's 3 years of excuses and it's still crap. But that was the 80s. That was 40 odd years ago, or nearly 40 years ago, whenever it was. Like, no, we have to be real. What is going on here and what is going on ain't great. Let me know what you think. I don't want to be reactionary. Do you think Ruben Amorim's the right guy for the job? Do you think he will have, the tools? He has got the tools to turn this around. Do you think Manchester United will end up having a successful season, whatever that may look like? Doc Rock says the ref was shit and the players were shit, but it's all Ruben's fault that he's victim blaming. And I've just said the ref was shit. I've just said the players were shit as well. So it's not just all Ruben's fault, but he has to take some responsibility. I don't think you can say it's not anything to do with the manager. I think that's slightly off key. Textonic says Man United are lacking the killer mindset. I think Amorim is rebuilding their attitude. It will take time. If Wright was right, Ollie would have still been in the job, doing the exact same mindset rebuild. Few wins and we're on top four. Wishful thinking and positivity is keeping me going, says Tiger UK. Yeah, I think I've got a bit of that, to be honest with you. Plugged in says someone has to take accountability of this. Is that Jason Wilcox, you think? Should he take some accountability for this? He's the one that wanted Ruben Amorim. He's the one that pushed for him. He's the one that knew that Ruben Amorim plays this system and that's a system that he sticks to. Is it his fault that we're in this mess? Let me know what you think. Say mess, it's not the end of the world. It's only December and we can still end up with Champions League football, but you can't ignore these results and these performances, man. Seriously. This season already, we've had 2 historically bad performances. In the Everton game, first time we've lost at home to 10 men, and the Grimsby game, getting knocked out to League 2 opposition of one of the only cup competitions we're in. So it's not been good enough. You need to see a reaction. And I just didn't see one last night. Just didn't see anything that had been like, yes, I get you saw it in the Palace game, but I wanted to see something at Old Trafford. After that Everton game, I wanted to see a reaction at Old Trafford. Right, let's get at him. Let's show him out coming to Old Trafford what it means. And there was none of that, really. I just didn't think we got going. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Chris QT says stop comparing Amorim with Arteta. I don't know who's done that. Honestly, I haven't. Mark Pugh says, honestly, Jay, it's not Amorim, but it is his formation. Amorim in, formation out. Yeah, there's a good point. Should he change his formation? Should he go 4-3-3? Would that solve some of these problems? Do you look at these group of players and think if we played 4-3-3, we'd be much better off? Let me know what you think. Let's see what Paul Scholes has got to say. Absolute legend. Scholes on Instagram, on his treatment of Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo's becoming a hot topic in here. Bullshit. The kid is being ruined, not being played in a team that can't control the game of football. Hate seeing homegrown players leave, but it's probably best for him now. Enough is enough. I hope he doesn't... Sorry, that's in reaction to that comment there. I hope Kobbie Mainoo doesn't go permanently. I really do. If he goes in January, which I think he will, it's got to be a loan move. Because I can see a scenario where Kobbie Mainoo goes permanently and so does Ruben Amorim. And then you're just like, right, well, we just got rid of Kobbie Mainoo for now. And a new manager comes in and goes, I'd love to have Kobbie Mainoo here. So get him out on loan. Let him show what he's about. Hopefully he can still have a future at Manchester United, because it pains me to see how sort of far from first team football Kobbie Mainoo really is. It really is sad to see. Let's talk about Christian Orozco. He was at the game last night. A fan met Christian Orozco outside Old Trafford. Also at the game last night was JJ Gabriel. I know you saw those images doing the rounds. JJ Gabriel was at the game. I think he met Sir Alex Ferguson. I think he posted on his Instagram as well. A few people saying, what must JJ Gabriel be thinking? I think he was at the Everton game and he's at the West Ham game. He's probably thinking, do I actually want to stay at this club long term, going nowhere? I don't think he'll be thinking that. But yeah, there you go. There's a picture of JJ Gabriel with the greatest manager football has ever seen. JJ Gabriel, obviously a huge talent, been linked with a lot of other clubs, but he's here till the end of next year, I think Finn was telling us. So all the speculation about him going to Barcelona, it's just that, it is speculation. Let's talk about Matthijs De Ligt. November belonged to our Dutch defender. He got Player of the Month, did very well, didn't he? Matthijs De Ligt. We missed him last night, but there's no excuses. You can miss Matthijs De Ligt and still be able to beat West Ham. Come on. No, I can't get my head around this. Do you know what it reminded me of a little bit last night? It reminded me a little bit of Southampton last season. Not in the sense that we were as bad last night as we were against Southampton. I know we beat Southampton, but we were shocking. Just in the sense that it's a team that you're watching, the opposition watching them, going, they're not very good, these, but we're making them look better than they are. It really was annoying. It's just not good enough. Dylan says, imagine defending a manager at a Big Six club with one competition to focus on, failing, losing to Grimsby Town and finishing 15th prior. Paul Madders says Amorim must go before Mainu. Daddy of 3 Gaming says boring turgid football at United under Amorim. Bring Ten Hag back, FFS. Huey Mars says JJ Gabriel ain't touching that first team with Amorim as manager. It'd be better off at Barcelona. I don't think JJ Gabriel, when he is getting into the first team, I don't know if Ruben Amorim's even going to be the manager. JJ Gabriel, I don't think he can play this season anyway. I just think the way things are going, I don't know if Ruben Amorim's going to be here next year. I don't. I'm not trying to be melodramatic. Let's just be real. Manchester United need to improve and we need to fix up quickly and we need to do better than we have been doing this season if Ruben Amorim isn't going to be under pressure. I don't think he's going to get sacked during the season. I think Ineos will want to give him a full season. But if we don't finish at least 7th, I don't think he's going to get past the summer. We've done a poll. I hate doing these polls, but I think it is relevant. I understand why we're doing it. Amorim, keep or sack. Sack's 53%, keep 47%. We've got a game away at Wolves, right, on Monday, where there's no excuses. I know I say this almost every week, but it's true. There isn't. You go at Wolves, who haven't won all season. Yeah. If you were to pick a game on paper where you go, who do you want to play? It'd be Wolves, right? Because they're shocking. And they haven't had any new manager bounce since Rob Edwards has gone there. That's just made no difference whatsoever. They're still poor. So United have got to go there and get a result. Seriously. Go to Molineux and get a result. It's that simple. No excuses. No, we lacked a bit of intensity. The ref was terrible. Whatever. That is a championship team, right? I know I said West Ham might be in the championship next season. Wolves will be in the championship next season. Go there, get a result, and let's move on from these home games that have been poor. I'm going to leave it there before I make us all clinically depressed. Thank you to everyone who got involved in the chat and the comments. Don't forget as well, you can check out the merchandise. There's a link in the chat there. Get an order in now, and I mean now, and it should arrive in time for Christmas for you. So make sure you get your orders in quick if you want to buy yourself an early Christmas, well, not early, you want to buy yourself a Christmas present or get someone else a Christmas present. Thank you to everyone who's bought merchandise and supported the channel as well. We're going to be hearing from Stephen Howson shortly. He's going to be giving his views on last night's game. He'll be talking to Joe Smith. Both Joe and Steve were at the game last night. I think we all were, actually. I think the whole team was there. So you'll be getting that reaction. Plus, we'll have the brew later on. And also, we'll be looking a little bit ahead towards the Wolves game. Another big game in it for Ruben Amorim and Manchester United. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.